An as-is valuation might be a block of land and it's independently valued as is at $100. You then may go get an approval to build a house on that block of land or an industrial unit. And the valuer may say, well, the as if complete, once you build that industrial unit, the property is now worth $200. So your land's gone from $100 as is, and there's potential as if complete valuation of $200. The interesting thing is that as a lender, the steps that we would take is to say, okay, well, let's work out how much it's going to cost to build that industrial unit. So we would engage a quantity surveyor that would work out how much it costs to build that industrial unit. And the funny thing is that your approval could actually reduce the as-is value of the land. And for example, if you bought the land for $100, you had an approval to build an industrial unit that was going to be worth $200, but if it was going to cost you $150 to build that industrial unit, it could actually push down the value, the as-is value of the land.
That's right. And we have seen that.
We have.
We have seen that, and especially at the moment, and all over the last 12, 18 months, construction costs have well, a lot of press about it, but the construction costs have been quite high. They have seemed to stabilise at the moment, which is nice. They're not stabilised, means they're not increasing at the rate that they used to, or they have been over the last couple of years, but they're not coming back. So we see what we need rents obviously to go up to help with the valuations, for the end valuation. So what we're seeing is that, and this property we were talking about was an industrial unit development. The highest and best use was thought to be the industrial unit. It was maximised out to the best it could be under the development consent. We see large construction costs put into the feasibility. Unfortunately, the residual land value went a little bit backwards to what the as-is valuation was at.
So to summarise it, they bought a block of land for $100. They had an approval to build an industrial unit, was going to push the land up to $200, but the cost to build that, might have been $150. So the actual land that they've purchased was worth now $50. So the issue we have as lenders is we lend them, you lend them money on that land as is, and you could be underwater on that particular asset. So the three things that we require is that you've got the land, you need to have an approval to build something, so that's called planning risk. You need to have a valuation of what the completed product is going to be, so an as if complete valuation. But the final piece is also we want a QS report or a quantity surveyor's report that's going to quantify how much it costs to build that approval. And these are all important pieces in the puzzle to make sure that you're not lending on assets that may not be worth as much as you think.
Now, once those things are put together, the inputs basically go into the feasibility. The feasibility will tell us if that development is commercially viable.
Yeah.
Now, if we don't have those, we can't assess. We can only guess on certain things. And on this particular project that someone brought in, they didn't have all three things. They just wanted us to underwrite lend on the land on an as-is basis without development consent. Even though they were a very nice and what we thought would have been a
very good quality counterparty.
Yeah. We considered all our options and decided that it was just too risky and it wasn't viable. As we know now, it was the right decision to stick to our guns and the conditions precedent.
Everybody assumes that if you buy a block of land and you get an approval to do something, that it will actually result in an increase in the value of your land. And broadly speaking, that's correct. But sometimes you can get an approval, and what's been approved can actually reduce the value of your land. And that was an instance of potentially that happening to us.
That's right.
Yeah.